Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to make hand puppets. They're out of tissue paper. They're actually pretty sturdy even though they are out of tissue paper, and you can decorate them and do whatever you like to make them very interesting. You need a piece of cardboard. This is 7 by 7 inches square. Some of it's trimmed a little bit. It's cut so that it folds in half, and this becomes the mouth. You need 2 pieces of full-size newspaper. You need 2 pieces of tissue paper, large is preferable, stapler, tape, and scissors. And what you need, you're going to go with the newspaper. The newspaper creates the puffiness of the head on the cardboard. So I'm going to crumple my newspaper so that it's about the size, or a little larger, of one side of the cardboard, like that. And then I'm going to make sure, just so it doesn't come apart, a couple pieces of tape. You do the same thing with the second piece of newspaper. Crumple it so that it's about the size of the cardboard. And then I'll tape that in. Now, before we add this to the cardboard as part of the head, we are going to cover that newspaper in tissue paper. So the way to do that, we here at school have really large pieces, but you can use any size. The key is to cover the newspaper. So for me, I'm cutting this in half. That's what we do here in the classroom. And then each piece will be folded in half, like this. 1, 2, 1 for each side. Then the newspaper goes in here, and you just kind of wrap this as if you're wrapping a present. And if you have to adjust things, then that's what you have to do. It doesn't have to be super neat. If the tape is all on the underneath, no one will see it. And like I said, you can push newspaper around and fiddle with it so that it all comes together nicely. That's one, and then you do the second one. Same thing. The double of the tissue paper makes it a little bit more sturdy and a little less see-through, depending on what color you choose. So it's nice to have it doubled up. Like that. Okay, so now once this is taped, the next step is to get it onto the cardboard. And we do it like this. Here's where the mouth is going to be. One comes up here. And we're going to use tape for that too. So we're just going to tape right from the tissue paper to the edge of the cardboard. Tissue paper to the edge. If you have cardboard that's showing on the edge, you can actually trim it a little bit if you need to. You can push and form your tissue paper, newspaper thing to kind of get into the shape. You tape around the edge, and you want to leave the back open so your hand can get in. So let's do the second side. So that fits right about there. And we'll take that over. And the side. And then this side. Ooh, tuck that in. Make sure it's nice and on the edge. And that gives you the head of your puppet. All right, for the sleeve of the puppet, this is where the large tissue paper is something you kind of need. I'm folding it in half, and then I'm folding it in half. And if I remember the measurements, it's about maybe 14 or 15 by 11 or 12. And then what we want to do is take the stapler and staple down the side of the open part of the tissue paper. so that we can close it up as a seam. Now we have the whole thing stapled down the edge, so we've got this great tube of doubled up tissue paper, but we don't want the staples to show. So I'm actually going to turn this tube inside out. Put my hand in, I can grab the tissue paper, and I can very carefully just turn it inside out. And there is your puppet's body. So, I'm going to put my hand in here. I'm going to take the head of the puppet, and I'm going to tape this to here, and this to here. So now we have the body and the head. The next thing that's left is to decorate. One of the things you don't want to do is want to try and cover the sleeve all the way to here. This is where the decorations are going to hide some of this, because if you pull this up and then open your puppet's mouth and do that on the other side, it's going to probably tear. So it's best if it's like this, and then this is used, this area here is decorated with things to cover this. You can decorate inside the mouth, you can decorate on the head. Let's take a quick look at Yolanda again and look at her decorations. All done with scraps of tissue paper, all done with little yarns and pipe cleaners, construction paper. Her mouth hasn't been covered in yet, but I will. You could add a tongue. I added tissue paper on her back to give her the character that she is. And that's how you make a puppet.